Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel called C with Patricia. This channel is all about learning C programming in a funny and creative way. I'm Patricia, a student from CMR University, and this video is part of my assignment for course programming in C, guided by Dr. Nagaraj Choli. Let's make coding simple, visual, and interesting one. So let's begin our journey into the world of C programming. So when we start learning a programming language, the first question that pops in our mind is why should we learn C? C is the foundation for many modern languages like C++, Java, and Python. It's closer to the hardware, making it deal for system level programming. Learning C sharpens our logic and problem solving skills. It's highly efficient and works well across different platforms. Most importantly, C helps you to build a stronger foundations in programming. Now, let's talk about the data types and variables, the building blocks of any C program. A variable is a named storage location in memory, and a data type defines what kind of data a variable can store. Imagine you're organizing a kitchen. You have different containers for different things, like rice, sugar, and oil. In the same way, in C programming, we use variables to store different types of data. For an example, when you want to store whole numbers like 5 or 10, we use the int type. If you want to store decimal numbers like 3.4, you use float. To store a single character like A or Z, we use char. Think of variables as label jars, and the data types tells us what kind of item each jar can hold. This helps the computer to organize memory and process information efficiently. Let's now talk about input and output in C programming. First, what are input and output? Input means giving information to a program, and output means getting results or message from the program. In C, we use special functions to handle this. Scanf is used to take input from the user, and printf is used to display output to the screen. Now let's relate this to a real world example. Consider an ATM machine. When you walk up to an ATM and enter your PIN, you're giving input just like how we use scanf in C. After that, the machine displays your balance or a message like please collect your cash. That's the output, just like printf shows results in program. So you can think of scanf as the ATM reading what you type and printf as a screen showing you what's happening. Now, let's talk about a very important concept in C programming, that is conditional statements. Conditional statements allow the program to make decisions and control the flow based on a certain conditions. Just like we make choices in real life depending on situations, program also need to choose what to do, and that's where conditional statements come in. There are four main types: if else if, and switch. Let's understand each of them with real life examples. So, the first type is if statement. The if statement checks if a condition is true, and if it is, it runs a block of code. Imagine you check the weather before going out. If it's raining, you decide to carry an umbrella. That's an if condition. If it rains, take the umbrella. So, the second type is if else statement. The if else checks a condition and performs one action if true, another if false. Example, when we take a light switch, if the room is dark, you turn on the light. Else, if it's bright, you turn it off. The other example is entering a password. If the password is correct, you see access granted. Else, if it's wrong, you get access denied. These show how if else can be used in different everyday situations. The third type is else if ladder. The else if ladder let us check multiple conditions one after another. Think of being at a restaurant. If you want pizza, order pizza. Else if you want burger, order burger. Else if you want pasta, order pasta. Else the waiter tells the item is unavailable. That's how else if works. Checking several options in order. The last type is switch statement. The switch statement is useful when one variable has many possible values. Imagine a TV remote. If you press 1, it goes to channel 1. Press 2, channel 2 appears. Press 3, it switches to channel 3. Just like that, switch helps the program to decide what to do based on value of a variable. Conditional statements are the decision makers in programming, guiding your code based on real life logic. Now, let's explore a very useful concept in C programming, that is loops. Loops allow a program to repeat a block of code multiple times, which makes coding more efficient and powerful. Instead of writing the same instructions again and again, we use loops to automate repetitions. There are three main types of loops in C. The first one is for loop, second one is while loop, the third one is do while loop. Let's understand each of them with examples. The first loop is for loop. A for loop is used when we know in advance how many times we want to repeat a task. Imagine climbing a staircase with 10 steps. You know you have to take 10 steps, so you repeat the action exactly 10 times. That's what a for loop does. It runs the loop for a fixed number of times. The second type is while loop. A while loop is used when we don't know exactly how many times the task needs to repeat, but we continue as long as a condition is true. Think of filling a water bottle. You keep pouring water until the bottle is full. You don't know the exact number of times you'll pour, but you keep checking the condition. This is a while loop. It checks the condition before each repetition. The last type is do while loop. A do while loop is similar to a while loop, but it runs the task at least once and then checks the condition. A great example is tasting food before deciding to add salt. You taste the food once, then decide should I add or not. If it's still bland, you taste again after adding salt. This is a do while. Run once, then decide whether to repeat. So loops help us in making our code shorter, smarter, and easier to manage, just like how we repeat actions in daily life without rethinking every step. So, finally, let's quickly recap what we learned today. We began with the importance of learning C, followed by data types and variables that help to store different values. Then we explored input and output using real life examples like ATMs. We covered conditional statements, that is, if else if, and switch, with fun analogies like weather checks, light switches, password access, menus, and remotes. Lastly, we learned about loops for, while, and do while, with examples like climbing stairs, filling bottles, and tasting food. All these concepts are the building blocks of C programming and will help you to write smarter, more efficient code.